Hi, it's Delia. I'm out in this glorious park on a beautiful afternoon. So I don't know how long it'll be quiet enough to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and start. I wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about the healing process. What are the stages of it? What does it look like? And healing, what I've observed, healing really means change. That's all. And it's like going from stuck to unstuck. And while you can become more whole and more who you are, it's about being conscious of who you are. And so becoming more conscious is what healing looks like to me. And when you're conscious of something, when you're consciously aware, then you can have a relationship with it. You can be separate from it. You can get the gifts of it and all manner of things. So when, let's say, childhood, everybody seems to have, I think that's kind of the nature of the beast, is things happen in childhood. And as a child, you make conclusions. And you conclude that somebody doesn't love you. You conclude that you're not worth anything because of the way they treat you. So on top of the things that might have been said to you, which can be bad enough, there's also this inner thinking process and these conclusions. And based on those conclusions, that is how you decide who you are, what life is, what love is, what's normal, what's not normal. So a person will make a lot of conclusions. And then make decisions on top of those conclusions. And then they snowball, they escalate. And each time that thing happens again, it proves your conclusion was right in the first place. And that you're not lovable, or that people will let you down, or they're right and you're wrong, whatever the wounding was. And once you have these kinds of decisions, conclusions, after a while you see them outside of you, but what you don't necessarily see is that you internalize them. So if one of your parents called you names and was really horrible to you, in adult life, you will have that voice in your head, and it may sound like that parent, but at the point of being an adult, it's actually you doing it. So this doesn't mean that you're bad and wrong. It means that there is like a conclusionary loop that got established a long time ago, over and over again. And there's a part of you that believes that conclusion and decision. And that part is trying to protect you and care for you by playing the loop. So if you ever get too relaxed or too at ease or too comfortable or feel too safe, the loop will kick in to prevent you from the unsafe thing of relaxing, letting your guard down, thinking that you're safe, because you weren't at some point. So all of the conclusions and decisions, assumptions and projections that you made sense then. They made brilliant sense in the moment. The coping patterns that you came up with. But that moment has passed, and now you have your own fail-safe system instigated to kick in those loops. Becoming more consciously aware of that changes it. And you can't become consciously aware of it until you're able to tell yourself the truth. And the truth is simply they said this to me, and I believed it, and they shouldn't have said it to me. Nobody should have horrible parents. Nobody should be told they're not lovable. Nobody should be told any of those things that we were told. You could maybe be told that that action doesn't work, doesn't help, but that's very different from being told that you're bad or wrong. So in the process of healing, you become able to tell yourself what you're really thinking, be able to become conscious of what you're thinking. And then you're able to become conscious of why you think that. Where did it start? What originated it? And then on top of that, you're actually able to open your arms to that part. And it's no longer something that you have to resist in perpetuity with all your might. And it turns into a part of you that got stuck in that time, that's desperately trying to stay alive and desperately trying to protect you. And really what it needs is to be heard and seen, and in my experience and a lot of people's experience, hugged. And then you would not believe how much stress and strain and resistance and tightness and fear leaves your body. And this is not an intellectual process. This is something that you have to actually do. You can't think your way there. And when you actually do it, you may or may not have words immediately. Sorry for the plane. But I guarantee you'll have words afterwards. I call it, you'll get the email later. And then and every time you do that, you're reclaiming parts of you, younger parts that got stuck fighting, trying to defend for you. And the more you both become conscious that they don't need to be at war with you or with life or your feelings or your emotions or your memories or anybody, the more they all accomplished to give you what they were trying to give you, which is safety, love, security, actual security, not external security. Well, that comes too energetically. And then you have more vitality. It's really amazing. And you become a much kinder, more loving, and safer place to be for you, and by extension for other people. So whenever you're in any one of these steps, the step beyond it, the next step, may not seem real. But as you move through the steps, it's just the next logical thing, or the next obvious thing, and the next obvious thing, and the next obvious thing. And then you can look back and see, oh my gosh, this feels so much different than how I used to feel. So the processes of healing, of becoming conscious, becoming consciously aware, you kind of can't do it by yourself, because it's everything, all your resources are in your own head, and so it's a little bit of an echo chamber, and you do need somebody outside with a different energy, not just a different point of view, but a different energy, to really transform things. And that's not to say you can't do it on your own. But we are built to be social creatures. We are built to need each other. As warring as our current climate is, we are meant to get along, need each other, support each other, and cheer each other on. So that's the overview. I hope that's meaningful to you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or send me an email. Delia at deliayeager.live. Okay, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.